Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Lone Star Alliance Game of the Week. You are looking live at Dragon Field on the campus of Carroll High School in Southlake, Texas, as Game On Sports Network brings you exclusive coverage of today's Lone Star Alliance Game of the Week between the LSU Tigers and the Oklahoma Sooners. Alongside Jim Dixon, this is Brian Shackelford welcoming you to today's broadcast at Carroll High School. And Jim, I've seen that smile on your face all morning long because the dates on the calendar have turned to the part of the year that you love most. It's lacrosse season.
It's lacrosse season indeed, and the weathermen have lied to us. It's sprinkling out here. It's you can't count on the weather, and that's one more beautiful thing about lacrosse. And we have LSU coming in that has relied heavily on defense and hopes to do so today. And OU has stocked the kitchen once again. They are on a resurgence as far as having players and talent, and a lot of these guys are from the DFW area and probably enjoying a little home cooking. Indeed, and
it has been what is known in the vernacular as a soft Irish day here today at Carroll High School. A nice heavy mist, temperatures in the upper 40s, low 50s. We should approach 60 degrees by the end of this game as we get ready to get underway here at Carroll High School, and a unique neutral venue for these two teams as they kind of came halfway, about a 7-hour trip for LSU, about a 3.5-hour trip for the Oklahoma Sooners. But I believe that it's exactly what you were talking about, Jim, the opportunity to showcase the DFW talent on both of these teams here today at Carroll High School.
Yeah, and talking to Coach Ball from LSU, I mean, he is really keyed in on this area for these kids to hopefully draw talent, and just loves the area, but certainly, likes to look and see what's available. But, in the MCLA, you go in and you barnstorm. And, LSU picked up a game last night at SMU. Unfortunately, came down on the downside of that. And not a bad commute for OU either.
So LSU coming in on the year at 0-3. Yet to find success so far here in the 2025 campaign. And this is the opening game of the year for Oklahoma. They are 0-0 first game of the year. As you just saw the teams meeting at midfield, we're just about set to get underway here at Carroll High School. So both of these teams looking for their first win, as this is the first LSA game of the week here on Game On Sports Network. And, Jim, this should be a very entertaining game here today. Quickly, before we begin here, your thoughts on who you like in today's game of the week.
Well, for OU, I mean, obviously they're rolling off the bus and kind of got to rely on what they've seen in practice, but they're looking for big things from Schumann, and of course on the pole end, Singer gonna play some tight D for him. LSU is they have had some approach here so far, but they got a couple of freshmen that have no qualms about unloading against the pipes, just haven't had anything land yet.
And the opening faceoff taken by Oklahoma for a brief moment. They finally get on the attack here as moving into the offensive end. Number 2 for the Sooners. And they'll set up here with 30 seconds gone in our first quarter. Connor Stevens controlling for Oklahoma.
Yeah, and what you're going to watch LSU, they're going to set up their stock and trade is defense. They're going to try and win ground balls. They got the guys to do that, and they're just going to pressure you inside a shooting range. They're going to force you to goal line extended, make you run back through X, restart. And they are going to attempt to dominate on ground balls.
And a stoppage of play here, penalty flag as we are just into the game, not even a minute gone yet, and we have our first penalty of the match, and sitting in the sin bin for LSU. That is number 28, James Banks. And we'll check the penalty on that, as it is now a man-up advantage here for Oklahoma with just a minute gone in the opening period. No score as we welcome you to the Lone Star Alliance Game of the Week. They work the counterclockwise ride. Going back up top are the Sooners. And you can hear the microphones down on field level picking up that heavy wind coming an unusual direction coming out of the southwest here this afternoon. A shot just over top of goal.
Yeah, Mollendor had a nice little cut in there, had an open crease, and just unable to land that on that top part, just about 2 feet over the top.
So now Oklahoma setting up again, down to 35 on the shot clock. They try to go back into X, and that will roll out a play turnover to LSU. So a nice opening attack there. They had a man-up advantage, and the Sooners unable to capitalize here early in our game of the week at Carroll High School.
And LSU's they're gonna roll in here, and this is their first real offensive possession today. They're gonna work up and try and get something set up where they can get some momentum running downhill.
And now LSU with their first attack on the day, as they'll start on the near side here with number 16, Tyler Boucher. We'll have to find out if he's any relation to Bobby.
Probably not. Not that he'd claim.
Not that he would claim. Coming over across the near side now, Jacob Dott, wearing number 9 in the beautiful LSU purple. And they'll work it back into X, as LSU also working a counterclockwise ride here to start today at Carroll High School. They come back across the top to the corner on the near side, still working the counter. 25 on the shot clock now as they come out of X. And an errant pass will go out of bounds. So it looked very good there for just a moment, Jim, as they were trying to set up the offense, but the errant pass out of bounds, and we've seen that many times here, that especially early in the season where unforced errors can be the bane of the offense for both teams.
Yeah, both squads with their fair share here early. Dott had a nice lane coming up through the backside and tried to open up, get momentum coming in and out, and just unfortunately unable to get that thing landed.
And charging in on goal for LSU, number 31, Jordan Alkir, but he's taken down from behind and the ball taken out of play. They'll reset the shot clock for the Tigers.
Yeah, Alkir had a clean run. You got to make this goalie move. He sat down and just was able to plant there. And Alkir tried to drop the hammer on him and got scrubbed up from behind.
So Casey Rubin now charging in from the near side. He's going to attack goal, and there's the first goal of the game as Rubin puts one 5-hole on the OU goalkeeper, Kyle Wolchok. 1-0, your opening score here with 11:30 to play in the first.
Yeah, LSU with a nice little run here. Just had to get past this man, get his hands free. Really didn't make the goalie move much, but shot 5-hole and a nice little plant just off the top side foot.
So 1-0 your score here for LSU as they draw first blood, looking for their first win of the year in their fourth attempt. And back to the center circle, taking the faceoff for OU, Justice Briskin wearing number 21. And the exclusive Game On face-off cam right there. Controlling for the Tigers, that's number 44, Jamie Delahousse. As Delahousse will bring the ball back now, they set up the offense. LSU back on the attack with the 1-goal lead. Will Herzig now working on the near side. Takes the long stick all the way down to the goal line. Centering, looking for a pass. Oh, the shot just wide by David Carroll. Nice play there by LSU, but they just barely missed the goal.
Yeah, they're trying to get this momentum going in and out and accomplish that greatly. Carroll just had it on his stick, unable to really carry through, and shot wide.
So now OU on the attack, a shot high and off to the side with that shot, number 30, Zeke Mullendorf. And we're going to see a lot of Mullendorf trying to put that ball on net here this afternoon for the Sooners.
Yeah, Mullendorf just really pulled out his back foot, didn't get rotated around, but nice little shot anyway, but about 4 feet wide.
So you will reset as they have a fresh shot clock, but already down to 50. And once again, they're working the counterclockwise rotation. That errant pass, trying to keep it in bounds and unsuccessful, is number 25, Jackson Ferris. So LSU quickly on the attack here as the clock down, approaching 10 minutes to play in our opening quarter.
Yeah, Duncan with a nice little move down to get that thing cleared, and LSU's going to reset here and get some offensive power in.
Coming in from the near side for the Tigers, that's number 5, Nick Frischhertz. As Fritchert's battling here on the near side with number 21 defense, Justice Briskin. So Briskin not only their Fogo specialist, but also playing defense for the Sooners. And now a whistle will stop play, and it looks like a turnover to LSU.
Yeah, so far LSU's really using the perimeter game to set this thing up and just unable to get on Cage.
Coming across the front for the Tigers. A shot, nice save right there as the goalkeeper coming out of his, as Wolchuk with the save for OU. One of the better saves we'll probably see here this afternoon.
I believe that went in.
Are they saying that went in?
No, that went in.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah, Fontenot.
Oh, there it is. Indeed,
yeah, Fontenot
it did.
with a nice little move.
My apologies. I thought he had that in the big net, but instead it is a 2-0 lead for LSU. Go ahead.
Yeah, Fontenot with a great setup. And again, getting this goalie to move in and out, keeping them off balance, and that's probably the best approach.
And whistles now stopping play. They call a foul on the faceoff, and possession will be awarded. But to whom?
OU's going to pick this up.
Okay, it'll be OU ball.
Yeah.
9:27 to play here in the opening period. Now a 2-0 lead for the Tigers.
Yeah, LSU has really stepped up as far as the face-off side, but got a little ahead of himself.
Starting the offense for OU, that's Briskin, number 25. And he'll bring the ball down the far side. Or no, that's 22, Justin Kuntz. 2 men in X here. That's for Andy Schumann. Schumann working in X with Mullendorf. Mullendorf back and forth off the goal line. And now coming down the near side, Jackson Ferris, one of the captains for OU, wearing number 25 today. And Schumann now by himself in X. A nice mark there by number 34. Liam Curtin, and a whistle as the ball out of bounds. OU will maintain possession, but they're down to 35 on the shot clock, Jim, with 8:41 to play in the opening period.
Yeah, Schumann unable to really get his feet set, had to roll out of his shot a little bit, went wide, but able to at least maintain and reset.
So they reset back up top as Briskin will now charge down the near, or make that Ferris, number 25. Ground ball opportunity here, and it's going to be won by LSU. Scooping that up the long stick midi, David Carroll. Quickly, the Tigers across midfield. Survives a whack right there from number 2, Connor Stevens. And now pulling it back up top, Tyler Boucher. He'll reset the offense for the Tigers. 8 minutes remain here in the opening period at Carroll High School in the Lone Star Alliance Game of the Week.
And that's what we were talking about earlier with the way LSU works from defense to offense. They're going to win ground balls. They're aggressive after it and obviously benefited highly from that possession.
So the shot clock now moving under 50 as LSU gets fresh bodies on the field. Jamison Cronin, number 33, charging in. Instead, he'll come goal line extended to the near side. Working an X on this possession, Jordan Akir, who had a shot earlier that just missed. Nice ride there as trying to push the Tiger attacker away from goal, number 28, Colin Singer. And the work there by Singer forces that shot wide as LSU now down. Well, no, they'll get a fresh shot clock as that drew iron off the goal.
Yeah, Singer with a great job of getting his hands in there, disrupting the shot.
They reset back up top with number 33, Cronin. And now the counterclockwise ride back in play. Thinking better of it, coming back to Cronin up top. That's number 9, Jacob Dot looking for a shot, denied. And the ball loose. Great defensive play there by Landon Szymanski, wearing the big 0 today for OU. And he forces a turnover for the Sooners.
Yeah, Dot thought he was going to feed Hayes on that edge, and Hayes rode the lane.
And a shot and a goal. That's Connor Stevens, the 165-pound freshman from Salina, Texas. So he's got the home cooking here today as Connor Stevens with the first goal of the season for Oklahoma.
Yeah, Stevens gives up, finds the lane, rolls in, unloads lefty, making LSU's goalie move. You got to get these guys out of their sink, and forcing Hendrick to move around really paid dividends.
So 2-1 now, the advantage for the Tigers with 6.5 remaining, as that faceoff won by OU's number 10, Austin Hurd. Hurd will quickly put the Sooners on offense. The ground ball picked up there by the long stick midi. Or no, knocked away. Still trying to maintain possession on the loose ground ball. Pinned up against the line. And now controlling finally for the Sooners, number 17, Justin Wombold. And then Wombold loses the ball out of bounds. So a very frustrating attempt at possession there for OU. Never really could find the handle on the ball.
Yeah, nice little strip, though, from backside. We're going to get this sorted out here after this possession. We're going to fall this to OU's side here when they get this sorted out.
So penalty flag on the play. So this is an advantage here for LSU, as long as they maintain possession. They'll be able to work this. Then they will get the penalty. Looks like it might have been a penalty on the exchange. We'll see. And that shot on goal stopped by Kyle Wolchuk, the 220-pound sophomore from Columbus, Ohio. And now we'll get the penalty call. And it was a cross-check in the back against Oklahoma.
Yeah, Wolchuk just got cuddled up on that top side pipe, and just took that lane away. Nice body placement.
So they'll reset the 80-second shot clock. I believe this is a 60-second penalty here for LSU. They'll have the man advantage here now with 5:26 to play in the opening period. Working up top, running the offense, that's number 33, Jamison Cronin, along with number 16, Tyler Boucher. Looking for an opening here as they try to press the advantage. And an errant pass there by the Tigers out of bounds, just what the Sooners needed. Now they have a chance at a shorthanded goal to tie the game.
Yeah, just trying to get greedy to that far side.
And there it is, the shot and the goal. Scoring shorthanded for the Sooners. The senior captain out of Warmouth, Maine, number 28, Colin Singer.
Yeah, Singer just, you'll watch this. These shots with these off the pole it just picks up so much more volume. And you got to pick it up later. It's totally different than a short stick shot. And these goalies have to adjust to that. But Singer, great play.
So all knotted up here at 2 with just over 5 minutes to play in our opening period. So this game of the week here, facing out, I mean, it's shaping up here to be just exactly what we expected here today at Carroll High School, as these two teams are both looking for their first win in the early campaign here in the 2025 Lone Star Alliance.
Yeah, not what LSU's looking for in the least. They were looking to take advantage of somebody who's trying to get their sea legs, and if this thing ends up close again, LSU is, that's kind of their story so far this season is losing to good clubs by 1 goal.
And LSU still has the man advantage there as Oklahoma scored shorthanded. So they still have a man advantage here for about 33 seconds. As up top for LSU, that's number 45, Wesley Fontenot, who already has 1 goal on the day. He'll shoot, and there's goal number 2. A strike from 17 yards out for Wesley Fontenot to put LSU back up front with the power play goal.
Yeah, Fontenot with a nice little placement, found that lane open up. Nobody came up to get on his hands and just unloaded.
So both teams trade goals here during the cross-checking penalty, and it's still a 1-goal advantage for the Tigers. LSU 3, Oklahoma 2, as we're in the face-off circle with 4:32 to play here in the first period.
Nice little pickup there from LSU, and then they got a little cavalier with it. Turned it over, and OU jumped on that ground ball.
So OU now will control the face-off as they look to tie this match here in the late stages of the opening period. They'll get the proper personnel on the field as the shot clock now down to 65. And going to work up top for the Sooners, number 44, Shep Myers, the 6'2", 205 sophomore out of Tulsa. Back in X there work number 1, Josh Hoyd. And he's a local product out of Flower Mound. Thoroughly abused there, number 44, Shep Myers, as he is marked well on the play. Nice defensive work there by the long stick midi for LSU, David Carroll. And it looks like from a defensive standpoint, number 7 in purple is the straw that stirs the drink here for this Tiger defense.
Oh, yeah, they are looking for that feed and got to get him pressure on the ball.
They call a foul there at the opening of the crease, and that will give LSU possession. They'll go back on the job, 3.5 remaining, as LSU looks to extend the 1-goal lead.
Yeah, and LSU on these clears hasn't really, put the pressure on OU. They are very very committed to working it up, finding their spot, and see if they can set the table, well into the offensive zone.
So they'll stay up top here now. They get the proper personnel on for this exchange as Casey Rubin, number 1, working here on the near side. Back in X as he has been so far all game on offense for the Tigers, Jordan Akir. And now up top, that's Nick Frischertz. Frischertz is a freshman from New Orleans. As he'll work on the far side, being marked there by the Sooners, number 13, Xander Nelson out of Dallas. And we'll talk about that here at the quarter break, Jim, as both of these teams have a wealth of Dallas-Fort Worth product on each squad. The shot there off the post. So the extra defender there for Wolchuk makes the difference.
Yeah, nice of that pole to come in there and sweep that up off the crease. And you can't turn it over as you're resetting.
And a save there by Wolchuk on that steal and shot by Akir. Now we approach 2 minutes to play in the first period. As Oklahoma looks to tie the game, the pass off the cross of Colin Singer, out of bounds.
I do like the aggressive nature on the clear for OU. They are flat getting after it. They're trying to beat that setup and get the ball into a shooting zone quicker.
So LSU now with the turnover as the ball went out of bounds, they get across midfield as we're down to the final 100 seconds. In our opening period of the first Lone Star Alliance Game of the Week here live on Game On Sports. Attacking here on the near side, Jake Tomaris wearing number 21, Akire back in X. He'll go all the way around up top. Nice move there by number 26, Marco Goudat. And a turnover to the Sooners. And they can play the last possession here. Shot clock at 76. With 72 seconds to play in the period.
Yeah, they're going to work up, be a little bit more deliberate on this.
The ball just across the timeline in time as we're now inside the final minute of the opening period. Working up top, that's Connor Stevens, who has one of the 2 goals on the day for the Sooners. And he'll calm things down as the coaching staff for Oklahoma wants to get different offensive personnel on the field. They do so. Still 40 on the shot clock and just under 40 seconds to play in the opening period.
And OU just running downhill on that, unable to make it work.
A whistle stopping play here. And a foul called on Oklahoma to give LSU possession. So LSU with one more opportunity and less than 25 ticks to play in the opening period.
Stevens with a nice little lift there. Almost getting that turnover.
Stevens, the other goal scorer for the Sooners today, along with Colin Singer. And Akire with a shot, save Wolchuk. And Wolchuk just sends that way up in the air as the horn will sound, ending our first quarter of play. Well, folks, we've got the first 15 minutes in the books here from Dragon Field on the campus of Carroll High School in Southlake, as Game On Sports brings you live exclusive coverage of the Lone Star Alliance Game of the Week. And your score after one quarter of play here from Southlake, it's LSU Tigers 3, Oklahoma Sooners 2. And the first 15 minutes, everything we expected from both of these teams here this afternoon, Jim.
Oh yeah, I mean LSU's trying to get on the right side, and I think in their first in two of their first three games just ended up short, and that's an easy turn to get that thing on the right side as far as the win column, and OU doesn't look like they look like they might have had a couple of scrimmages and definitely are game ready for their first game.
No, both of these teams coming out looking very good here to start the season, as the Lone Star Alliance will start play here in mid-February, and this will all culminate at the end of April, early May with the Lone Star Alliance Championships, which we will have for you live here on Game On Sports, as we'll have extensive coverage all season long of Lone Star Alliance Lacrosse. And the Lone Star Alliance just one of 7 conferences in the Men's Collegiate Lacrosse Association, and it's a great level. It's a great club level of lacrosse on the college level for these young men that, although they may not be the kind of guys that can make an NCAA squad, but they still have a chance here to play the game that they love very much here in the Lone Star Alliance.
Well, I think it falls more to, hey, I want to go to LSU and I can play lacrosse.
There it is.
I mean, certainly from what I've seen so far today, there's kids that can play at the D1 and D2, D3 level.
Sure.
And there's plenty of talent. It's your mindset and your culture, and the hard part is to set the culture where you have teams that they want their culture to be club Monday through Thursday, but they want to play NCAA on the weekend, and that doesn't necessarily work. Or it's just setting your expectations as far as your culture.
Indeed it is, and then LSU winning the faceoff here to start quarter number 2, number 23, Will Moore, bring the ball down the far sideline for the Tigers as they enjoy a 1-goal lead here, 3-2 in favor of LSU, as we're in the opening seconds of the second quarter in our Lone Star Alliance Game of the Week from Carroll High School.
Yeah, Moore really just played soft on the retain line and was able to come up with that ground ball and just these LSU guys, that's their mindset, is to work ground balls, play defense, and create those opportunities.
Now on the near side, number 21, Jake Tomaris, working up top with 26, Marco Goudat. Akir still back in X as he'll come to the near side with number 9, Jacob Daught. They're trying to work a play here now. Tomaris fakes the shot. Nice defensive work there for the Sooners by John Coulter, number 29.
Yeah, he was trying to get Coulter to commit to that shot and roll around him, and integrate that dodge into the shot, and OU wasn't taking it.
Shot clock down to 10 for the Tigers. Tomaris from distance and right into the big net of Kyle Wolchuk. Easy save there for the Sooner goalkeeper. And now Oklahoma with their first attack of the second quarter. George Arnold, number 16, brings it down. Penalty flag on the play. And Oklahoma will play the advantage prior to the penalty call. A loose ball going over the timeline.
They're going to issue this offside.
And while we have some officiating work here, we'll take a moment and introduce your officiating crew here this afternoon at Carroll High School. Your referee, Dan Doyle, the umpire, Jason Gustin, and the field judge this afternoon, Trey Foster. So a standard 3-man crew here for our game of the week at Carroll High School. And that is the referee, Dan Doyle, issuing the penalty, as LSU now on the job for the second time this afternoon with 13-17 to play in the first half.
And really, neither club, both clubs were playing reserved offense, but playing tight on D, and nobody's really made a run so far, and that's where it comes down to, where you can get these separations, but no lead safe in this game, but you got to make these runs, and we're just going to trade goals, and at some point somebody's got to step up and make that run and just dictate that that's what you're going to do, and so far everybody's playing hard defense, and that's the ugly part of the game nobody wants to talk about.
Yeah, Charles Hedrick there with an accidental save for LSU as Oklahoma was trying to make the pass across the mouth of goal. He deflected it, and luckily it bounced in the crease right back to him, so now LSU with possession. And, yeah, that's what I've seen here, Jim. Both of these teams trying to establish some consistency and win face-off, score goals, win face-off, score goals, and it's still just, both teams equally matched. It's still very back and forth as we're 2 minutes here into the second period.
Yeah, and the skill set, time required. I mean, these guys are doing a lot of extra work on their own and having to get that done kind of outside the scope of team practices.
And now scramble there for the ground ball, finally picked up by number 16, Tyler Boucher.
Yeah, Boucher just stood on the perimeter, waiting for the ball to roll out. Good patience.
Boucher now offloading and coming down the near side. A nice shot attempt there by Wesley Fontenot as he was looking for the hat trick early in the game. But instead, it will be LSU to bring the ball in as Akire will bring the ball in. He's got 48 on the shot clock, 11 and a half to play before halftime. And Jordan Akire, a 5'8", 145-pound senior from Benton, Louisiana. As now the ball brought back into play once again. Actually, they started a little early there, so this the official restart for LSU. As Casey Rubin now up top, and Rubin will be marked there by the Sooners' captain Colin Singer. A shot, and the hit there from behind on Nick Frischertz, and I think that's going to garner a penalty call from the officiating crew.
Yeah, for sure. They're gonna send that over and kind of clean things up a little bit. Yeah, but those cross checks those checks in the back, they're gonna really watch that. They're gonna try and keep this thing clean and not let anything get out of hand.
Well, I mean, we've called games before with Dan Doyle running the show here at the officiating crew, and he, that's one of the things in listening to the talk that he had prior to face-off with both head coaches. That was one of the things he wanted to make abundantly clear, that we were going to play a clean game today.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's really coaching malicious play.
No.
And things can't. Yeah, they're college kids, and things can get out of hand. But
my point exactly.
Obviously, you're going to fall to safety 100% of the time.
Yeah. So nothing nefarious here. Just we understand these are 19 to 23-year-old men, and we're going to keep them in line today.
Well, he'd be about the only one that could.
Right, indeed. So now 48 here on the fresh shot clock for the Tigers. As they try a shot from distance, that shot just wide of goal. Jamison Cronin, the 5'8", 135-pound senior from Jacksonville.
Yeah, Cronin, not the shot they wanted. They wanted to get one or two more passes, see if they could close that ride down a little bit.
Now a short opportunity for Dot, and somehow the kick save by Wolchuk keeps that out of goal, as Dot just barely missed from point-blank range.
Yeah, I mean, and there are keepers that just play great inside the crease, and obviously OU has one of them, and he's not giving anything away 3 feet out. Now, as soon as I say that something will happen, but so far, that's what he's doing. These lane shots from distance are kind of what they've been using to take advantage of him.
So the clock now moving under 10 minutes to play before halftime in our opening game of the week here on Game On Sports Network. Folks, we want to take a moment and thank you for joining us wherever you may be watching around the country, throughout the world, here on the World Wide Web. Whether you join us here on the Game On Sports website, the local website for your team, or on YouTube, we want to thank you for being a part of our broadcast this afternoon. Working on the far side for OU, that's Xander Nelson, number 13. Nelson from the Dallas area, one of several Dallas products here on both teams. And now on the near side, looking for somewhere to get rid of the ball, that's Shep Myers. He'll go back into X to Josh Hoyd. Nelson once again on the far side as they look for Myers up top. Shot clock down to 13. Myers trying to get by, looking for a shot. And a kick save there by Hedrick. And Hedrick looked behind him, so he thought that one was in the net.
No, he did a great job about setting up that inside pole. Just rode that inside of the crease, and just cut the lane down where he gave him about a 2 foot wide. He knew where he had to go and was not looking low for sure, and was able to get that leg on that.
So the officials stop play here, 8:48 to play before halftime, as they are having a conversation with David Carroll, the long stick midi for LSU, and a penalty being assessed against the Tigers. So now a man-up advantage for Oklahoma, their first power play of the game. And it looks like that's 26, I believe, in the penalty box, Marco Gudak.
I think it's Banks, 28.
Well, yep, I believe you're right. We'll get some definitive proof here from our wonderful technical director, Tim Polster.
Then again, it could be 23. Then again, I'm old. My vision's horrible.
And a shot and a quick goal as number 2 Connor Stevens puts his second goal in the net, and he'll tie the game up 3-3 here with 8:45 remaining before halftime, and it appears the penalty was number 20, Dan Reeves of LSU.
Yeah, Stevens with a nice set on the lane. Just got LSU got Hendrick out of sorts and opened that up on that inside pole.
So the power play goal for Oklahoma, each team now with a power play goal and also a shorty for the Sooners. 3-3 here in our game of the week with 8:45 to play in the half. A quick face-off win for number 44 from LSU, Delahousse. And now the Tigers, and Oklahoma gets to that ball first. It will be Sooner ball. So a wasted possession there for LSU following the Oklahoma goal.
Yeah, and talking to Coach Ball before the game, I mean, that is one thing that they've stepped up on is their the face-off prowess there, and that has offered improvement.
So now a steal for LSU as Billy Brooks, number 6, works on the near side with David Carroll. Carroll dispossessed of the ball, and it rolls out of bounds. The officials rule last touched by the Sooners. So on a steal attempt by Oklahoma, but the ball going out of bounds, LSU will control.
Yeah, and that's another example of LSU. Good defense turns into good offense. Just unable to close the deal, but nice defense turns into a steal, and just unable to get down into the shooting range. But definitely had OU off balance.
And now we'll reset here as LSU will go right back to work, looking to regain that 1-goal advantage. The shot just wide by the Tigers. So a 3-3 game now as we approach the midway point of period number 2, 7.5 to play. LSU will bring the ball back in, working at X. That's Akira. And down on the ground, injured, Tyler Boucher. He is not getting up, and now a penalty flag comes in from the officials. That hit may have been a little bit too rough by Oklahoma.
Yeah, Sincata came out, just really got Boucher up in the air and had a cross check just really on the lower part of his ribs and brought him down. Just didn't really have a good handle on that shot. But Sincata, I mean, good pressure, just a little wide on his hands.
And number 16, Tyler Boucher, down on the field in pain, as the officials stop play here with 7:23 to play in the first half.
And Coach Ball's out there, and I mean, he is obviously concerned about each and every one of his players, but they have had a rash of injuries. They've probably lost 3 of their better players to injury. They lost a guy last night against SMU, and they have another really good player walking around in a boot. And Coach Ball is obviously concerned for each of his guys, but
and you didn't mean that with a Canadian accent.
He's got the boot up to his knees.
Oh no! Oh, you hate to see that happen. So Boucher popping up, he'll get back to the sideline under his own power, and I'm sure he'll be evaluated here at crack medical staff here by the Carroll Independent School District, as they'll take a look at him on the sideline. And we'll get back to action in this tie game with 7:23 to play in the first half. The officials give a fresh 80 on the shot clock to the Tigers, and they'll get back underway. They work on the near side, going back up top. And with Jamison Cronin, number 33. Now they get the short side save, Wolchuk. And that was a nice attempt right there by number 45, Wesley Fontenot, looking for his third goal. Off the right thigh of Wolchuk. And Oklahoma will possess now as we move under 7 minutes remaining before halftime.
Yeah, Fontenot feeling that pressure on his back, had that turn, and didn't get much pepper on that left-handed shot.
And Oklahoma goes right down and turns the ball over. My goodness, a melee there. As a second LSU player, that's Jacob Dott down on the field in pain. Takes a whack from Cooper Harris.
Yeah, Dott went down and was just looking to unload it, keep it in play, and OU jumped on that like a bum on a ham sandwich.
So LSU awarded possession after the minor foul. And the Tigers quickly back on offense, 70 on the shot clock, 6.5 remaining in our first half. Here from Carroll High School in Southlake. And folks, this is just the first of 2 games that we'll have for you today here from Carroll High School. As OU, in true, to borrow an analogy from another sport, in true Ernie Banks fashion, said, well, if we're going to drive down to Dallas and play 1, let's play 2 today.
Let's play 2.
So stay with us, folks, as we'll have our second game of the week for you this afternoon live from Carroll High School. That's coming up at 3 p.m. Central Time, as OU, they'll be the home team here in both games today. And the 3 o'clock game, they will host the Division II UT San Antonio Roadrunners, but that should still be a very interesting and exciting game here for the nightcap at Carroll High School.
Yeah, UTSA's driving up. I mean, if they were already here, I think we'd have probably moved that 3 o'clock start up a little bit, try and get OU back home. But we'll see how that happens.
I'm just trying to find some room on the bus to go back to San Antonio to go to Mitiera for dinner.
Hey,
or technically breakfast.
Yeah,
that would definitely be one of the situations where I'd love to have breakfast for dinner. But folks, be sure to come back here as we've got the opening game of the week here for you right now at Carroll High School, and our nightcap, the second game of the week at 3 p.m. Central between Oklahoma and UT San Antonio. The bounce shot by Jacob Dott, and Jacob Dott will get his name in the scorebook, and LSU back to a 1-goal lead. Nice bounce shot there for LSU.
Yeah, LSU goes across the goal face. They come down on the top side, working well, draws his man, finds that open up, and just dropped that in on the goal line. Nice little shot from Dott, but nice. He was into his shot when he saw the pass in the air. So nice way to disseminate the ball from LSU.
So 5:39 remaining here in the first half. Now LSU 4, Oklahoma 3, as we return to the Game On Faceoff cam.
Yeah, I mean, you have a hot keeper in Wolchuk. He's solid. You got to get him out of balance. You got to get him working top side, near side, inside, outside. You got to get him moving around, and that's where LSU was able to take advantage.
Well, it was a nice move by Dott, and we'll probably look at that with our halftime package on the goals. Is Dott coming up, getting Wolchuk to come looking up topside, and then just popped it right off the ground, off his ankle, right into the goal.
Well, and he'd already moved. He already had to move from the top pipe to the inside pipe, and nobody really on Dott's hands. Just had free run, and that goalie's going to lose a majority of those one-on-ones.
Yeah, especially from about 4.5 feet.
Oh yeah.
So now down the far side, back to Akure in X. They go up top quickly. Rubin looking for a shot. He'll defer, and the pass right on the money to Billy Brooks as the 5'11 freshman from Warrington, Virginia, establishes the first 2-goal lead of the game. And, Jim, this is the consistency we were talking about earlier, back-to-back goals for LSU.
Yeah, they're work top side. They found a lane. Brooks is going to come in here and fill the lane up. Right here, and he's got his head turned around, which is something that, they've worked on. LSU has focused on that, getting that head turned around before the shot instead of turning with the shot, and just able to find that hole and work that inside pipe.
Well, and the decision there by Ruben, I mean, he was taking a shot. He was already in the motion of taking a shot, but then he saw Brooks come right down into the crease when his defender came off of him, and a great pass to get the assist by Ruben.
Yeah, nice little offensive run there from LSU.
And now they've won a third consecutive faceoff. So as we move under 5 minutes remaining before halftime, it's now LSU 5, Oklahoma 3. As LSU 0-3 on the season, this is the first game of the year for Oklahoma. And one of these two teams will put their first victory on the board here in the 2025 campaign this afternoon. And now another player down, as this time it's Nick Frischards hobbling off the field near midfield.
Yeah, Frischards with an off-ball check, came in a little late. Clean play, but just got him, kind of under his arms.
No, and you see that a lot in lacrosse. I mean, just the speed and the density of that ball that, very clean plays, but there can be, they sting pretty good there for a couple of minutes.
Oh, there's plenty of injury opportunity out here. That's why they wear helmets.
Right. Yeah, my goodness, I couldn't even imagine this game being played without helmets. With the speed that these men can generate with that cross. We'll reset here as Oklahoma will have possession, 4:25 remaining in the half. Oklahoma now for the first time today trailing by 2, 5-3 LSU. So a good opportunity here, Jim, for the Sooners to put one on the board and decrease this deficit right before halftime.
Yeah, OU really wants to step up and stop the bleeding right now, get out of this run.
And a penalty flag coming in, 2 penalty flags. And now the officials actually getting in there to separate players. So looks like the intensity here turning up. And we'll see if both of the referees here had the same call or if these are 2 different penalty calls on this play.
Well, OU got a little above their skis, played a little aggressive in on that lane, and we're going to spread it around here. We're going to spread the love around.
Yeah, now the officiating crew meeting at midfield to decide what they're going to do here. So I would venture to say that if they're having a conference like this, Jim, that's multiple fouls on that play. Either that or they might be possibly discussing how egregious a single foul was to see if it warrants an elevation or an ejection.
Nah, I don't think we're to that point, but Carroll certainly knows he was one of the offenders.
Yeah, he's already taken up his spot there in the sin bin, grabbed a little water. I think it's just a question of how long he's going to sit there. That might be what they're discussing, whether this is a 1 or a 2 minute penalty. We'll check on that. So, stoppage of play here, 4:07 remaining in the half. LSU 5, Oklahoma 3 here, coming to you live from Carroll High School. And, folks, before you think it's the big high school, let me set the record straight for you. In Carroll, just like in a couple of other towns, Plano being one of them, they have a high school, and then they also have a senior high school.
Yes.
Which we are at the high school, which is 9th and 10th graders. And then the senior high school about 2.5 miles away off of South Lake Boulevard, which is the 11th and 12th grade campus. But still beautiful facilities here at Carroll High School. As now we'll get the penalty calls here from the referee Dan Doyle. And it appears they did have multiple penalty calls as an Oklahoma player now in the box as well. Number 2, Dan Doyle, referee, lining all this out as they explain it to LSU coach. That's Coach Ball for LSU right there in the black jacket and the gray sweats.
The dapper hat is how I find it.
Yeah. Any gentleman that can pull off the tam o' shanter,
hey,
they get a tip of my cap, I tell you that. So I believe that's number 16, George Arnold, in the penalty box 19, sorry.
Yeah.
make that Ben Claffin, the junior short stick midi out of Tulsa. So we're going to play equal across here, both teams down a man. Possession awarded to Oklahoma as they have 65 on the shot clock and less than 4 minutes remaining in our first half. Oklahoma now using the rare clockwise rotation as going into X for the Sooners, number 25, Jackson Ferris. Ferris has the ball taken away from him. And he just lost it out of his stick, looking up high to unload on that lane, and just drew that little bit of pressure enough to force that off his stick. Yeah, and it dribbles right into the big net of Hedrick. And now LSU with an opportunity as they also decide to work a clockwise rotation. Jacob Dott back into the game. He'll go up top this time with Fontenot. As 45 Fontenot charging in, he's got 2 goals on the afternoon. 3 minutes to play here before halftime as LSU looks to extend this 5-3 lead. Shot clock halfway gone as Fontenot working goal line extended on the far side. He'll go back to Jordan Akir in X. As Akir comes here to the near side. So they go back to the counter rotation. Dot up top. They try to sneak a second man into X. That's Fontenot as Akir will now come out of X. Nice mark on Fontenot.
Yeah, good ride from OU, shutting that lane down on goal line extended, not letting momentum.
And the ball goes across the line, the turnover to Oklahoma. So a wasted possession there for LSU. They got a shot on goal, but not much else from it. And we have 2:15 to play before halftime. And Oklahoma now with a chance to reduce this 2-goal lead and have a shot at tying the game before halftime. Working in, shot and a goal. Coming in from X, sneaking right up on Hedrick on the doorstep. That's Andy Schumann, number 4, with his first goal of the game for Oklahoma.
Yeah, Schumann worked in quiet on goal line extended, found that lane, just receiving the ball with a nice little turnaround and just taking advantage of that space LSU. LSU gave them a lot of space on that defensive front, working that perimeter and taking advantage of that.
So Andy Schumann, the 5 foot. I don't think he's 5 foot. Might have to double check the roster there, but from Draper, Utah, a senior, with his first goal of the game, and it is now 5-4 as it's back to a 1-goal advantage for LSU. And I thought there at the faceoff circle they were just about to switch sports from lacrosse to wrestling because it almost looked like a 2-point takedown.
Got a little physical.
As a result, the foul on the faceoff gives LSU possession. As we're inside the final 2 minutes of our first half here from Carroll High School.
LSU with a slick little pickup on the ground ball.
Now Oklahoma with possession.
Yeah, George Arnold with a nice little play. And
now they throw the ball away. Oh, you hate to see that missed opportunity as OU had the opportunity there to tie the game going into half. Instead, it will be Casey Rumid bringing the ball across the line. Nice dodge there on the hit by Colin Singer. And now Fontenot working the far side with 60 on the shot clock, 74 on the game clock remaining in our first half from Carroll High School. And now another, we see this going throughout the season, Jim, as they just are trying to continue to work on crisper, cleaner passes. And you see a lot of this in the opening where errant passes will go out of bounds.
Yeah, a lot of it is where guys are supposed to go. You're throwing to the momentum, and guys just they're not really getting in the flow of things, and it will certainly crisp up as the season progresses.
So Oklahoma now with another chance as we are inside the final minute of this first half. A low shot and a goal. Great bouncing shot right there from Shep Myers. As the Tulsa sophomore ties the game, Oklahoma now 5-5 with LSU, 51.1 to play in the half.
Yeah, Myers picks it up at midfield and just is running downhill, finds that opening, and takes advantage of the LSU keeper, set up on the top side, went stick side but down low, had to make 2 adjustments, and LSU just really unable to catch up.
So 29 minutes played in this contest, and we're all square at 5 apiece. LSU winning the faceoff, as that's Jackson Ramsey with the win. Now, laundry just flowing out of the officials' pockets, flags everywhere. So a penalty call stopping play here with 43.5. And another conference by the officiating crew.
Yeah, they certainly want to keep it clean, but it doesn't need to turn into a Tom Jones concert.
No, not just yet. And the foul against Oklahoma will put LSU on the job. So 43.5 remaining in the half. And this will allow the LSU Tigers to end the first half on the power play and quite possibly take a 1-goal lead into the halftime break. They'll start up top as Jamison Cronin dealing to Fontenot. Jacob Dott, loose ground ball. And that's scooped up by OU. OU quickly down with a shot. An opportunity here as Mason Sincata will move the ball forward. 20 seconds to play in the half.
Yeah, just that as soon as they cross midfield, a little turnover, and LSU rolls back in on offense.
And a save, great save there by Wolchuk. Off the shot from distance by Marco Goudat. 5 seconds to play in the half. A loose ground ball coming to the near side. And a launch as the horn sounds, bringing us to halftime. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the end of the first half of play here from Carroll High School as Game On Sports Network brings you live exclusive coverage of the Lone Star Alliance Game of the Week. And folks, your score as we go to the halftime break here at Carroll High School. Nothing's been decided yet. Oklahoma Sooners 5, LSU Tigers 5. Jim, everything we expected here in the first 30 minutes at Carroll High School in the Game of the Week.
Yeah, I mean, great play from OU. Coming in on their first game, I saw no rust. They came in, got after it, and LSU has had their moments, just unable to separate and keep OU at bay to a degree. But certainly some potential fireworks here in the second half.
No, LSU with the one opportunity there to put together a 2-goal run. But Oklahoma comes back with 2 individual goals of their own in the final 3 minutes of the half. And that's what has us knotted up here at 5 at the halftime break.
Yeah, I mean, I like the way OU is kind of set it up, has worked. But LSU's done a great job about disrupting them, keeping them off balance, and keeping that momentum, what little is to be claimed on their side of the field.
And, folks, we're going to take a short break and be back here after halftime. We'll keep that on the board for you. 10-minute halftime, so we'll be back here in about 7 minutes with more exciting lacrosse action. Folks, you're watching the Lone Star Alliance Game of the Week live on Game On Sports. We'll see you for the second half in about 7 minutes.
the field to know, right? I know. Good, Chris.
And folks, we welcome you back here to Carroll High School in Southlake, Texas, alongside Jim Dixon. This is Brian Shackelford, broadcasting the Lone Star Alliance Game of the Week, our first Game of the Week, Jim, this season, as we are just underway here in Lone Star Alliance men's lacrosse play. And so far in the first 30 minutes, everything you could have hoped for, a 5-5 tie here between Oklahoma and LSU as we begin the third quarter. And some of it has been fits and starts for both teams, but we've also seen a couple of very, very good goals and some excellent saves by both goaltenders.
Yeah, both these squads match up well, and we talked about before the break. I mean, OU looks like they haven't missed a beat, and with the way MCLA runs, you may have a full scale roster changeover, but that has been their focus, is to grow the roster, grow these kids, have more recruitable kids come in, and they've obviously done a great job with that.
So we'll face off here to begin the third period, and LSU will kick that back, and they will control, as Will Moore will bring the face-off down for the Tigers. LSU in the purple outfits today, and they will be shooting at the goal to your right as you watch here from Carroll High School. Oklahoma in the home white, shooting to the left here in the third period.
Yeah, and OU was carrying an extra penalty coming into the second half, where that wing was unattended. So basically, the clamp roll was what you were going to do out of the break and get that thing back into the wing behind you, and LSU pulled that off to a tee.
Yeah, back up top, Nick Frischhertz, who was injured earlier, back in the game, working on the near side here with Billy Brooks, who has a goal this afternoon. Number 31, Jordan Akira, in X for the Tigers, as he has been most of the game. Back up top to Frischhertz, as they're down to 30 on the shot clock, the Tigers are, with 1 minute gone in the third period. And an errant pass there, so good defensive work with the shove in the back on Frischhertz by number 19, Ben Claffin, as he forces the turnover for Oklahoma.
Yeah, Frischert's rolling that ball back through X, but obviously the pressure forcing that bad pass.
So the ball carried across the timeline by Oklahoma's number 15, Grant Smith. And he'll continue to take the ball down the side, make that 19. That's Claffin. Double teamed in X. Claffin dispossessed of the ball, and it's right to the new goalkeeper for LSU. So they make a goal change at halftime, taking out Charles Hedrick and putting in number 39, Cameron Davis, a 5'10", 190-pound senior from Shreveport. So the goal change for LSU as Cameron Davis now in goal for the Tigers. 55 on the shot clock for this possession with LSU. 2 minutes gone here in the third, as LSU looks to reestablish the lead. Oklahoma has not led yet in this game, Jim, but they have come back now twice to tie the game in the first half.
Yeah, the Sooners done a great job about halting these runs from LSU and keeping themselves in the game.
Wesley Fontenot, the only two goals scored. Well, no, pardon me, that's one of the two goal scorers this afternoon, along with Stevens from the Sooners. That bouncing shot well over the top of goal, and Akira will let that go out of bounds, as he'll come back into play with 20 on the shot clock for the Tigers.
Yeah, really on that shot, you just want to let it roll and be able to reset rather than pulling it up and getting yourself off balance on the end line and having to force something.
Coming all the way around from X, around the far side, that's Marco Godot. He'll lose the ball. Quickly on the attack, a shot by the two-goal scorer this afternoon for Oklahoma, Connor Stevens.
Yes,
that's wide.
Stevens with a nice theft of that pass, just coming into to that lane and using his momentum going forward and just unable to get that thing in the pipes.
So LSU now back on the job with 11:50 remaining in the third period. Still tied at 5, no scoring so far in the second half for either team. As Jordan Akira in X for LSU, marked by number 24 for the Sooners, Mason Sincata. Akira comes all the way out up top to Rubin. And now Jacob Dott. As Dott trying to get away from the man giving him a nice ride there. That's Jackson Ferris, the midfielder. And now a delayed flag At first it was a whistle, but now we see Laundrie out of the official's pocket. We'll get a penalty call here with 11:23 remaining in the third quarter.
Yeah, Brooks drawing that check on midway through that shot, and I think they're gonna get it for a cross check.
Cross check is the call. So a 60-second man-up advantage coming here for LSU.
Yeah, you'll see here, you come in, you want to get your hands on him and not run at him like that. Just coming in a little bit late. But definitely impeded the follow through and drifting that ball inside on the top side pipes.
So now Fontenot working in X for the Tigers. As Oklahoma down a defender. A shot and a goal. And number 6 with the goal, Billy Brooks, his second goal of the game.
Yeah, Brooks again pulling this thing up on the goal face. Again, great job of turning around, getting his head to recognize his shot, and then unloading it.
So now LSU back in front. 6-5, the advantage now for the Tigers. As Brooks with the power play goal for LSU, his second goal of the game. He joins Wesley Fontenot as a 2-goal scorer this afternoon.
Yeah, Brooks, he knows that pressure. He just needs to know which side it's on, turns around, gets his visual, and then just unloads it. Had about a foot and a half lane on that near side pipe and just dropped it where it needed to go.
So ground ball opportunity here as they dig for it 20 yards out from the Oklahoma goal. Finally controlled by the long stick midi for LSU, number 28, James Banks, a Houston player. He's a freshman. And now LSU will control with 10.5 remaining in our third quarter.
Schumann working on edge, drawing pressure, pulled that double. Great job of recognizing the double, finding that open man.
Maneuvering for a shot. That's number 38, Ethan Lynn, a freshman from the Tulsa area in Owasso. And he was bound and determined to get that shot off. And now a tall shot there from Shep Myers, who has a goal in the game. And Oklahoma now peppering shots on the goal in this possession. Myers loses the high pass. Bad pass there by Justin Kuntz. And LSU will now control with just under 10 minutes to play, and they've got an opportunity to extend their 1-goal advantage.
Yeah, Myers came in just to close that perimeter down a little bit, and there's a better selected pass.
Yeah, not the first best option, I believe, right?
Yes.
So Jacob Dott, number 9, working up top for LSU. 60 on the shot clock for the Tigers, as we have just over 9.5 here in the third period. The only goal so far in this third quarter scored by LSU, Billy Brooks, with the goal. And now, nice mark there, taken down, as Ben Claffin with good defensive work there to secure possession for Oklahoma on the turnover.
Yeah, Claffin, if he goes down and makes this a one-man show, hats off to him, because nice defensive play, great play on the ground ball, and outstanding to get that thing in the offensive zone.
So Oklahoma setting up shop again up top. As they'll work the near side. And now a whistle. And that's a turnover to the Tigers.
Yeah, nice check in on the hands to strip the stick and just force the yard sale in. At that point, you just got to pick it up.
So Wesley Fontenot, number 45, controlling on the near side for LSU as they go across to Brooks and now set up the far side. Goal line extended. The ball already back to Fontenot as they approach 50 on the shot clock. Jordan Akir in X. He'll come out of X, goal line extended on the far side. That ball dribbles to Fontenot, and he takes a wide shot behind the net, behind Wolchuk, out of play. But LSU first to the ball to maintain possession for the Tigers.
Yeah, I think they were looking for Goudat set up in on the goal face, and he came in and then worked back out to the perimeter to force that thing down.
So Rubin, they try a touch and go there with Brooks, but Rubin's pass just a little too high. Now Fontenot working on the far side. Shot clock down to 17. On the near side, number 21, Jake Tomaris. Tomaris comes goal line extended. He'll be taken down. Gets back up. 7 on the shot clock. As LSU needs to get a shot off in a hurry. 2, the shot. And it's a save by Wolchuk, so a desperation shot there for the Tigers. By Marco Goudat goes right into the big net of Wolchuk. And a great defensive stand there for Oklahoma on that possession.
Yeah, and on the clear, LSU sitting, laying in wait, setting up that defense to generate offense, picking up the ground ball and getting it down in the offensive zone.
And now a steal by LSU. They're right back to work here as we move under 7 minutes to play in the third. And they cling to a 1-goal lead. Coming in to take the shot. Bouncing it off an Oklahoma defender, that's Jake Tomaris. And the ground ball scooped up by Oklahoma. As Oklahoma now will punch it across the timeline. And it comes right to the near sideline. Oklahoma in control. Zeke Mullendor now controlling for the Sooners as he's marked by Will Herzig. And Oklahoma with a personnel change, 55 on the shot clock as they look to tie the game here with just over 6 minutes remaining in quarter number 3.
Yeah, that was just really Oklahoma's opportunity to reset their offensive stance, get the right personnel out there.
Shep Myers now here on the near side. They'll go across, back across again to Stevens, a shot save by the LSU goalkeeper, Cameron Davis. Davis's first big save of the match as he's come in the second half.
Yeah, Davis just right in on his hands, and unfortunately not able to get it in his stick, but able to get it to a ground ball where, if LSU's going to win those 50-50 ground balls the way they have this game, that's just as good as a clean save.
That has been one aspect of this game where LSU has dominated, is the clean win on ground balls. So Jacob Dott now resets the offense, LSU, with their 4th possession here in the third quarter, as we've got just over 5 minutes remaining and 40 on the shot clock for the Tigers. They'll charge in with Billy Brooks. Brooks trying to get away from number 28 for the Sooners. Colin Singer, the captain, he's got 2 goals in the game. Now Akir in X. As Akir is marked by Sincata. He'll come out looking for the centering pass. It's wide. Brooks with the backstop there to keep control for LSU. 15 on the shot clock. Akir from goal line extended on the far side goes back up top. And LSU with one more chance here, 8 on the shot clock. As David Carroll looks to make a move, he switched from the short stick, or switched to the short stick. He was playing long stick in the first half, Jim. He switched to the short stick. And a shot clock violation, the first of the game on either team. As now Oklahoma will control with 4:20 to play in quarter number 3. Wolchuk way out of goal as he'll get the ball.
LSU with a nice strip there. Again, rolling in the offensive zone and getting OU off balance. But they got to generate by popping that thing in the back of the net.
Yeah, Will Moore with the steal, and he'll drop it off for Billy Brooks. As Brooks will allow the offense to reset. LSU in no rush here as they have the 1-goal lead, Jim. And they're fine. They're very content here to burn a little bit of clock with just over 3:40 to play in the third quarter. Fontenot working with a carry, goal line extended far side. And they come back up top as the shot clock is now halfway gone, 40 on the shot clock for the Tigers. Dott will come down goal line extended into X with a carry.
as they try to set up a mini counter rotation here. Fontenot wins the ground ball. Took his eye off the ball for a second. Brooks looking inside. Looking for Jacob Dott. They'll reset now. 20 on the shot clock for LSU.
Yeah, OU's this pressure defense from OU is really forcing LSU to the perimeter, making them run downhill, and great activity from OU.
And a pass there looking for Billy Brooks, but Brooks lets it deflect off his cross down to 4 on the shot clock. And it's another shot clock violation, 2 in a row now on the Tigers. So Oklahoma starting to lock down this defense here in the waning stages of the third quarter.
Yeah, and that's the hardest thing to early in the season to get to focus on. And OU's obviously focused on that, but the communication's outstanding. These guys know where to fill, where to go, and they're doing a great job about holding LSU to the perimeter and not getting where they can't hurt you.
The shot clock at 60 as we move under 2.5 remaining here in the third. Up top for the Sooners, that's number 10, Austin Hurd, number 44, Shep Myers. Myers working on LSU's number 29, Bryce Patterson. They take the ball back into X. And lost across the timeline by Ethan Lynn. A turnover to LSU. And they'll have a fresh shot clock with just over 2 minutes to play here in the third.
Yeah, and LSU, again, back to the focused clear. They're going to work this thing up. And until OU starts pressuring them,
no reason not to.
Yeah, they can really kind of set, pick and choose. They push those attackmen to the edge, out to that perimeter, and they have an entire half field to work on with pretty much 11 guys.
So Casey Rubin here on the near side. He'll try to come in on the attack. The back pass for Brooks, and Brooks cross-checked right in front of goal. And that will put an Oklahoma player in the sin bin here with 95 ticks remaining in the third quarter. As we'll take a look at that, I mean, you can't really cross-check somebody right in between the referee and the side or the field judge. 10 yards outside goal.
Yeah, there's and not just that. There's a lot of attention on the ball.
Yeah, wherever the ball is, people tend to be looking. And you'll see here on the replay as Brooks comes in looking for number 6, and right in the back of the head. So LSU now with their 4th power play of the game. As Akire now 2 men in X, Akire and Fontenot. A different offensive look for the Tigers. Low shot. Blocked by 2 Oklahoma defenders, scooped up by the goalkeeper, Wolchuk. Outletting on the near side. Number 19. Ben Claflin now. As Oklahoma looking for their second shorthanded goal of the game. They had one in the first period. That just deflected by Cameron Davis. As we move inside the final minute.
Yeah, just waited a second too long on that shot. Had him on the doorstep, but just didn't unload.
Now Jacob Dott quickly on the attack. 45 remaining in the third. Shot clock no longer a factor for either team. And Dott hammered on the coverage by Mason Sincata. Rubin now looking inside. That pass behind the man in the middle for LSU. And they'll reset now as we're down to the final 25 seconds of this third quarter. Akire in X now. On the far side, he's going to go all the way back up top to Wesley Fontenot. 15 remaining in the period. Rubin looking for Dott. It's deflected. Ground ball opportunity, and it's won by Claflin for Oklahoma. We'll see if he's got time or if they'll just take the final 8 seconds off the clock. They throw it up in the air. And the horn will sound, ending our third quarter of play. And, folks, we've got 3 quarters in the books here this afternoon live from Carroll High School in Southlake, Texas, as Game On Sports Network brings you live exclusive coverage, the Lone Star Alliance Game of the Week. And, folks, stay right there in your seats. We've got an exciting fourth quarter coming up. LSU Tigers 6, Oklahoma Sooners 5. We'll be back with the fourth and deciding quarter right after this short break. Folks, we welcome you back here to period number 4 in our Lone Star Alliance Game of the Week. Alongside Jim Dixon, Brian Shackelford here with the call of our first Game of the Week. We're coming to you live from Carroll High School in Southlake as LSU will win the faceoff here to begin the fourth quarter. And, Jim, a 1-goal lead. I mean, there could be a 6-goal lead in this game and it wouldn't be safe. But an exciting fourth quarter here to look forward to as LSU controls to start the quarter.
Yeah, and I mean, it comes down to defense. I mean, there's not a lot of errors. These guys are playing tight defense and not exactly what LSU was looking for. They definitely got to find a run. They don't want to come up on another one goal loss.
No, they've already had, I believe, 2 this season so far. And now Fontenot on the attack for LSU. LSU will shoot to your left here as you watch in the fourth period. Oklahoma shooting to the right. The ball brought back in play by the Tigers as they have 30 on the shot clock in this possession.
Yeah, Fontenot on that shot just really didn't get his hands free from his defender.
And the ball brought back into play by Oklahoma. As now the Sooners with their first opportunity here in the fourth period. 13:40 remains in regulation. As on the attack, that's Justin Kuntz. And he'll offload up top with Connor Stevens, the only 2-goal scorer this afternoon for the Sooners. Coming in now with extra offense, that's Jackson Ferris, a sophomore midfielder. Working an X this possession, Andy Schumann, he's got 1 goal in the game. 35 on the shot clock here for Oklahoma. And, Jim, they don't need to panic yet. They're quite deliberate here in this possession. But you've got to find the right opportunity here to tie this game.
Well, and they're trying to create more. They're trying to get more offensive guns out there. They're willing to sacrifice the midfield game on the defensive side, and it works if you keep the ball.
And the shot there by Stevens, scooped up by Cameron Davis. Davis with his second big save of the game, and it remains a 1-goal advantage for LSU as they'll try to move the ball forward here with 12:40 to play in the fourth quarter. Working up top for the Tigers, that's number 28, James Banks. Now it's Brooks coming down the far side, streaking down there, but denied by Kuntz as he was looking to put a shot on Wolchuk.
Well, I think they were looking to set up through X, run that through the backside, see if a lane opened up, and OU didn't give them that opportunity.
So LSU will now reset with 35 on the shot clock. And LSU being very deliberate here with the 1-goal lead. Rubin looking to center. Quick one-timer and a goal for LSU. Right on the doorstep on the backside, that's Marco Goudat. And he'll get his first goal of the game. And LSU once again reestablishes a 2-goal lead.
And that has been that has been there all day. If you can open up on that near side and dump it, you got to get this goalie moving around. He's solid back in there on the pipes, and you can't let him work. You got to work off his body. You got to get him moving around. And LSU was able to do that on that play.
So Marco Goudat with the score at the 12:01 mark remaining here in the fourth quarter to make it LSU Tigers 5, Oklahoma Sooners 7, LSU Tigers 7, Oklahoma 5. So for only the second time today, a 2-goal advantage. Both times LSU with the lead, and they win the faceoff there. Nice ground ball work to secure that by the Tigers, number 34, Liam Curtin.
Yeah, Curtin with a great job of feeling pressure, keeping that live for LSU, working back over to the top side.
So now with a 2-goal advantage, LSU will try to slow things down here as the clock winds under 11 and a half remaining. Jordan Akir working in X. Comes over to the near side with Rubin up top to Fontenot. They've got their big guns out there now with Fontenot and Jacob Dott running the offense up top. Dott coming in on the scramble goal line extended. Penalty flag comes in. And that will be a penalty against Oklahoma. And just what LSU was looking for here. Now they can take another 60 seconds off the clock with a man advantage.
Yeah, and they're gonna try and mismatch them, get them, see if that near side opens up on the crease. Just watch somebody drift in on that near side off the post.
And we'll check and see which player earned the penalty. It appears that it's Oklahoma's number 21, Justin Briskin. Nope, it is Briskin in the penalty box. And the fourth man-up advantage this afternoon for the Tigers with 11:10 remaining. And LSU with the opportunity to establish their first 3-goal lead of the game. A nice check there to knock the ball away. Good work there by Landon Szymanski, forcing the Tigers to work, and the whistle at midfield.
Yeah, good pressure defense from OU. I mean, that.
Yeah, Szymanski got that long pole out there, just poked the ball away. And it kept Rubin from having a clean look to scoop that up, and they will say it's a timeline violation, or have midcourt violation, and it will be Oklahoma ball.
Yeah, the little aggressive on that midfield ball, and that over and back will kill you every time.
So they'll reset the clock to 80 on the shot clock. 10:55 remaining in the game here in the fourth period. It's now Oklahoma with the possession, looking to tie this game. Or no, reduce it to one. A steal right there by LSU. On a bad pass, looking for Brooks on the far side. Number 28, James Banks, just didn't follow through with the long stick, and it sails over the head of Banks out of bounds.
Well, and LSU did a great job about pressuring the ball out on the perimeter, working them the edge, get them off balance, and then taking advantage of that steal, but unable to commit on the offensive zone.
So Oklahoma once again back on the job clock, down to 10:21 remaining. Oklahoma in need of 2 goals. Working on the far side, that's Andy Schumann, takes the hit from Liam Curtin. And good job here by Curtin to keep Schumann from getting the offense in gear. As we're now down to 10 minutes to play in regulation. Shot clock at 40 for the Sooners. They'll bring it across X. Kind of a shake and bake there. Looking for the centering pass, that's Zeke Mullendorf. And now Oklahoma with the timeline. Oh, nice save there by Shep Myers.
Yeah, OU was looking for that lane to open up, and LSU collapsed in, giving up the perimeter.
Shot on goal just a little bit wide. And now with less than 10 on the shot clock, Oklahoma with an opportunity. Shot on goal. Just wide by Josh Hovda. And it's a shot clock violation. LSU will now take over possession with 9:22 remaining. Coming up the near side, that's Will Hertzig with the long stick. And the offload here to Jacob Dott. And LSU will start the offense with 60 on the shot clock. 9 minutes remain in the fourth.
Well, LSU's bread and butter's been defense, but I got to say that the Sooners have definitely answered on the defensive side.
So the counter rotation here for LSU is they're back up top with Dott. 40 on the shot clock. But LSU not too worried about that as they have a 2-goal lead. Casey Rubin trying to work inside. Goal line extended on the far side. He'll go back to Akira and X. Up top, wide open. Brooks with a low shot. Bounces over the top of goal. A nice setup there by LSU. They just couldn't get the ball in the net.
Yeah, Brooks drew in, went low to high, and ended up casting that thing. That went higher than Bucky's beef jerky. And unfortunately, just cast that, tried to get that top part of the rim, and didn't work out for him. Worked out that time.
A nice shot there from distance and a goal for Casey Rubin. Rubin puts that in the pipes from 17 yards out. And for the first time today, it's a 3-goal lead for the LSU Tigers as they lead 8-5 with 8:13 remaining.
Yeah, Rubin draws the ball, despite not handling it clean, nobody really on him. Had a nice lane, just planted that goal line just inside the cage.
So 8-5 now the advantage for LSU as they've opened up the 3-goal lead. Oh, and Jim, I just got this in from Buc-ee's. You'll need to change that comment because now the eggs are higher than the beef jerky.
True.
So a little catchphrase maintenance here as LSU looking on the near side.
Does Buc-ee's sell eggs? Maybe deviled eggs.
Then maybe so. Well, they sell. I know they have the little cup of hard-boiled eggs.
Ah.
I don't know that they just sell them like 18.
Yeah, I don't think they'll sell you groceries there. Everything's got to be made.
But
they want you back on the road eating.
Oh, they do. So now Oklahoma with possession, 60 on the shot clock, 7:45. And Oklahoma now in a bigger hole than they were just moments ago, trailing by 3. And they'll take advantage of this here. They'll take time out. 7:42 remaining. They'll use one of their 2 timeouts of the game and put some strategy together. And, Jim, go inside the mind here of head coach Corbin Barnett. What kind of play is he looking to put together here? Because with 7 minutes remaining and down by 3, you probably need at least 1 goal here to shorten the advantage.
Well, and you've had it throughout the game. It's not like LSU ran away with it. So you just have to draw on that, go back to what's been successful, and obviously working back to front has been what they're able to do. But these lanes are getting closed down on them, so they're going to have to move and create space to shoot in, and they have that in the golf bag.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what is drawn up here. And then if you get into the mindset here of Coach Ball on the LSU sideline, he's just telling his guys, let's do what we can, work the defense, work that ride, and just keep the ball out of the net as we're up by 3 goals.
Well, and I think at this stage of the game, it really falls to the LSU advantage. The Tigers have done a great job. They always play good defense. They're very active. They have good speed, and they've kind of tipped the scales on the Sooners. Yeah,
LSU has had 2 kind of mini runs in the game, almost like a basketball game that we do many times here on Game On Sports, where you usually have 3 big runs in a basketball game, and if you're the team that has 2 of them, odds on chance you're the winner. And that's the only consistency we've seen so far here is those 2 mini runs by LSU. And then this last one, we're still on the edge of it right now as they've run 3 in a row here on Oklahoma, because Oklahoma has not scored here in the second half. This was a 5-5 tie at halftime.
No, and this LSU pressure, I mean, it's the boa constrictor, and they are definitely stifling the Sooners at this point. And OU looked past a little opportunity there. They had an open lane and just got pressure late, and ball stripped, and all of a sudden you're playing defense.
So Wesley Fontenot will control for the Tigers as he'll go down the far sideline to Billy Brooks. And Fontenot and Brooks will play the 2-man game on the far side, 50 on the shot clock for the Tigers. Now in the game up top for LSU, number 21, Jake Tomaris. And Tomaris now coming down the near side, being marked by Connor Stevens. Tomaris looking for Rubin on the far side. Rubin pushed away from goal. Double team now. He'll turn away. Shot clock at 30. As the game clock with 6.5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. And that high pass for Akire, that's the second time today that Rubin has tried to connect with Akire and X, and the pass has been high and out of bounds.
Yeah, and really unfortunate because it was unforced. Really no need for the high pass.
Connor Stevens now working on the near side for Oklahoma, as they are looking to put a goal on the board here and reduce this 3-goal deficit. Prime time here for the Sooners to bite into this 8-5 LSU lead. That's Andy Schumann, one of the goal scorers here on the near side.
Yeah, they're looking to get matched up. I think they're trying to go big in on the back side and see if they can bully their way into a lane.
They go all the way back up top here with Shep Myers, as Myers marked by Will Moore, the 5'10 junior from Shreveport. And that pass looking for Zeke Mullendor coming out of goal line extended on the far side. It goes out of bounds. An unforced error there by Oklahoma that could cost them dearly, as we now have 5.5 remaining in the fourth quarter of this game of the week.
Yeah, I mean, good pressure from LSU, good footwork on the ball, and they just shut down with off ball, not really giving them an outlet.
And they call an obstruction foul against LSU and award the ball to Oklahoma. So Oklahoma needing to take advantage of this prime opportunity with just over 5 minutes to play in regulation. Stevens will settle things down and wait for the right offensive package to come in. And assisting him now, Justin Kuntz on the far side. Justin Kuntz from just next door here in Keller, a 180-pound junior. So yet another one of the Dallas-Fort Worth area players on both of these squads this afternoon. Ground ball opportunity there. Possession maintained by Jackson Efforts. And now the pass goes, or the shot wide. But Efforts back there to keep possession for Oklahoma as they have 43 on the shot clock. And 4:36 to play in the fourth.
Yeah, credit Ethan Lynn on that to keep that possession, because I mean he just got his big body in between the ball and the defender and kept that opportunity alive for OU and got the shot, unfortunately, on stick.
Yeah, and a nice shot there by Andy Schumann trying to go across the grain on Cameron Davis. But Davis equal to the task, a nice save. And now LSU will have an opportunity to take more time off the clock here as Jacob Dott resets up top for the Tigers. And the clock moves under 4 minutes to play in the fourth. Casey Rubin here on the near side with Jordan Akir. Akir getting away from the bashing he's taking at the hands of Mason Sincata. The shot there out of bounds. And with 40 on the shot clock, LSU will resume.
Well, and at this point in the game, just maintaining the ball is a win.
Yes. Yeah, at this point, I would think that, obviously LSU wants to get shots on goal, but, keep away is probably their number one game, and they'll attack one on right there. Casey Rubin from the far side, about 17 yards out. And that might start to dim the lights on Oklahoma's hopes. It's now 9-5 LSU with 3:33 remaining in the fourth.
Yeah, Rubin got loose here, draws this check and just bulldodge through. Finds that lane, opens up along the goal face. Nice little shot in a narrow spot, but nice, able to go right-handed because nobody was on him.
No, and a nice bounce there, taking that bounce early, putting it over the right shoulder of Kyle Wolchuk, and you could just see the expression on Wolchuk's face as that goes behind him into the net. So now 9-5 the advantage for LSU with 3:24 remaining. And this ground ball fight going on near midfield. Finally won by Oklahoma. So the Sooners now, are we near desperation mode at this point, Jim? Because we're down to 3 minutes to play in the fourth, and they need 4 goals just to send this to overtime.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is you just got to get good shots. You're only looking to win the next possession, the next pass.
And that pass just wide for Marco Goudat. And that will give Oklahoma another opportunity with 2:55 to play in regulation.
Yeah, at this point, the motto is TCB. Got to take care of the ball, get in the lane, make something happen with your offense, but you're not going to make it up in one bite.
Nope, you just have to take it one goal at a time. And that would tell you that Oklahoma needs a goal right here as we have 2.5 remaining. The shot clock at 52 for Oklahoma. As Shep Myers tries to work the middle. He'll look goal line extended to the far side. Shot. Save Cameron Davis. Charging in. That was number 30, Zeke Mullendor. And Davis equal to the task to deny Mullendor.
But that was a solid defensive save from LSU. Good play from the Poles, dropping in, shutting the lane, and they closed that goal face off from 6x6 to give them about a 1-foot window, and the goalie can manage that.
So we're under 2 minutes remaining here in our first game of the week here live on Game On Sports, and LSU with a commanding 9-5 lead. They have 45 here on the shot clock, so maintaining possession, they can take this ball, or take this clock rather, down under a minute remaining. Akir up top. Shot low. Save Wolchuk. A nice decision there by number 26, Gadat, to try to go low on Wolchuk. But Wolchuk throws the big net down there to scoop the ball away.
You got Kentada back there kind of, he took that off his leg, so he's kind of limping around, but
Mason Sincato will be substituted out. And now the ball put back in play with 89 ticks to play in regulation. And Oklahoma needs 4 goals quickly. 70 on the shot clock for the Sooners, but that's not what matters. What matters now is they need 4 goals in 77 seconds. Charging in is Mullendor looking for a shot. He's double teamed. He'll offload on the near side with Xander Nelson. They try to go back to Nelson. Bad pass. And a whistle there on the shove from behind will give Oklahoma possession once again. They go back up top to Shep Myers. 1 minute remaining in the fourth period. Myers shot. Deflected by Davis. And as long as that doesn't go in goal, he'll give Oklahoma another opportunity.
Yeah, and again, LSU, two defenders on the shooter and closing those lanes down and giving their goalie a lot of breathing room because he just has to manage a little bit of space.
Another great save there on Mullendor's shot by Cameron Davis. And Akir tries to put one in the net, and Wolchuk equal to the task.
Yeah, Akir, again, nice little one-on-one. The jump just never really got his head turned around into the shot, kind of guessing on where it's going.
Yeah, Connor Stevens dispossessed by David Carroll of LSU. 20 seconds to play in the fourth. Ball loose again, out of the cross of Andy Schumann. And now the whistle with 14.6. Turnover to LSU. And the lights here just about to turn out on the Sooners' hopes in the opening game of the season. The ball brought across the timeline. Akir at midcourt. Or midfield, rather. The final 5 seconds tick away. And the horn sounds ending this afternoon's game. Ladies and gentlemen, the final horn is sounded here at Carroll High School in Southlake, Texas, bringing our opening Lone Star Alliance game of the week to a close. And your final score this afternoon from Southlake, Texas, LSU Tigers 9, Oklahoma Sooners 5. And Jim, I think what this game came down to, mostly what we saw here was kind of fits and starts today by both teams, but the 2 mini runs, the one late in the second period by LSU, although Oklahoma came back to tie the game at halftime, but the main run here late in the third, early in the fourth quarter as LSU scores 4 unanswered goals in the second half to take the victory here today at Carroll High School.
Yeah, the defense turned it into offense and able to capitalize on every bit of that. But solid play from both squads, and the nice thing is, for both squads, as LSU gets out of here, kind of rights the ship, and winning cures a lot of things, and they get to walk out of here with a nice win. OU has to practice that short memory because they're going to turn right around and play UTSA. But the thing is you have some things to focus on. You get your guys over there, get some water in them, maybe a little bit of food, and you refocus and you come out and you can 500 on the day is not a bad deal.
No, not at all. And you talk about having a short memory, yes, because we're going to be right back here in 2 hours and 9 minutes as we'll have our second game of the week here for you this afternoon from Carroll High School at 3 p.m. Central. But for right now, as we close things out today here, Jim, your final thoughts on this victory by the Tigers this afternoon.
Yeah, LSU, I mean, they needed to stop these 1-goal losses and get on the right side of things, and certainly accomplished that today, and they have something to build on. I didn't see a lot of mistakes. I think they just need just that little bit of confidence is probably enough to get them where they want to be, and the way things are operating under the current team, current team alignments is it's kind of the elephant in the room is everybody's got to chase UT, and That's what these guys are trying to get built up to that.
Yeah, no, that it's all going to be chasing down the Texas Longhorns, the defending Division I Lone Star Alliance champs. But a good start here today for LSU. They improved to 1-3 on the year. Oklahoma dropping their first game of the season. They'll drop to 0-1. But folks, join us right back here at 2:55 Central Time, as we'll have the second game of the week here for you on Game On Sports, as Oklahoma will host UT San Antonio to close out our action today here at Carroll High School. Folks, we want to remind you that Game On Sports will have exclusive coverage all season long of Lone Star Alliance Lacrosse, and you can stay up to date on everything happening in the Lone Star Alliance by checking out their website at mcla.us/LSA. And folks, today's Lone Star Alliance Game of the Week is a copyrighted production of Game On Sports Network and the Lone Star Alliance. Copyright 2025, all rights reserved. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of the pictures and accounts of this broadcast without the express consent of Game On Sports and the Lone Star Alliance is strictly prohibited. Well, that wraps up today's Game of the Week from Carroll High School in Southlake, Texas. Folks, we want to thank you for joining us this afternoon. And another reminder, we'll be right back here 2:55 Central Time, 3 p.m. face-off this afternoon, as Oklahoma will finish out the doubleheader hosting the UT San Antonio Roadrunners. So on behalf of our Game On Sports production crew, Executive Producer Fred Garner, Director of Operations Lisa Carrillo, Director of Media Ted Price, Social Media Manager Michael Gaddis, today's producer and director Tim Polster, our outstanding camera crew Chris Reniger, Reagan Smith, and Garrett Hayes, my broadcast partner Jim Dixon. I'm Brian Shackelford. We thank you for watching today and your support of the Lone Star Alliance Game of the Week. Until we see you later this afternoon, folks, we wish you good afternoon and God bless from Southlake, Texas.